Our first comic book is Batman 66, issue number 2. This is the print version of the digital first comic that is out on for digital download on DC iPad app and what have you. The comic opens up with, I guess, Commissioner Gordon essentially at like this giant iceberg that's in the middle of the harbor, and of course, guess who's behind it? The Penguin. So we finally catch up to Batman and Robin. They arrive on the scene. Batman climbs all the way up to the iceberg, starts beating up Penguin's henchman. Penguin explains his plan that he's going to basically block traffic in order to kind of tax anyone who wants to get their shipments into Gotham. Batman tries to stop Penguin, but he is thwarted by none other than the one and only Mr. Freeze. So now we have a kind of a double team situation with Mr. Freeze and the Penguin working side by side to working on this plan. And their dynamics are really funny. And I like how Mr. Freeze is always like, "What are you doing here?" Und like that kind of really heavy German accent, like he's like, "You this not you, Batman," like stuff like that, which is hilarious when you're reading it. But yeah, Penguin is essentially charging people for passage into this shipment yard. Batman gets encased in sort of like this icy prison, so he calls Robin. Robin gets to the bat sub. Robin. I don't even understand how this is how ridiculous this series is. Robin freezes the iceberg underneath because it's being held by one of Penguin's subships or submarines. He basically melts it from underneath the iceberg. So he cuts off the support lines that's holding it down, and then he melts it. So, of course, Mr. Freeze and Penguin make their daring escape. Batman and Robin chase after him. Unfortunately, they can't make it, but the iceberg is dismantled, and of course, everyone saved the day. Batman actually, in this instance, really kind of puts the whole not really blame, but he gives a lot of credit to Robin because he did a lot of stuff in this. But I really enjoyed that part of the comic. It's the Emperor Penguin storyline. I thought it was funny, especially the dialogue. Jeff Park is doing a really good job at doing dialogue. It definitely feels like we're in the realm of the classic TV show, and everything works really well. The art's pretty solid. Ty Templeton doing a good job. I still love Jonathan Case for what he did in the first print issue, but with the last story that we have, Jonathan Case comes back for this one chapter kind of self-contained story, and we're going to get to that. So the last part of this issue is a really fun kind of self-contained story where Bruce Wayne goes to a nightclub with his date, and there's this woman that's singing, and when she sings, every single man becomes under her command. So what she basically tells all the men to do is to rob their wives of their jewelry and put it in a bag. Just before it, she calls her song "Give Me All of Your Valuables," which really, when you think of that, I think as like a smart individual, you think like, oh, I think something's gonna happen. I think maybe we should get the fuck out of here. But it's a really funny scene where all of these husbands are like stealing their wives' like pearl necklaces and like jewelry. Batman escapes, puts on the bat suit, breaks through. He begins to kind of confront the siren. Her name's Lori. So Lori's there, and he's like, "You don't have any henchmen. What are you going to do now?" And she's like, "I don't need henchmen. I got all these guys." So all these civilians start punching Batman, and Batman basically takes most of them down. But she's not getting any money, so all the other remaining henchmen go to loot from their wives. Lori uses some like weird spray. She like ingests it from like a perfume case, and then she sings to Batman, and then he goes into this weird psychedelic kind of dream phase where reality isn't what it is, and like Robin's this giant bird, and Chief O'Malley's like this little leprechaun, and it's hilarious. Um, will Batman be able to get out of this crazy reality that he's been put in? Who's gonna help him? You just have to read to find out. You need to read. Honestly, if I were to recommend this issue, I would base it solely on this chapter of the book. This is a digital book. I think this was chapter 6. You can definitely get it on digital download, but just read this issue, and solely alone, it's one of the best I've seen out of Batman 66 so far. Jonathan Case comes back, and he does the art and the colors. They're all beautiful, really well done. It fits the tone perfectly, especially when he's like in that kind of like weird psychedelic dimension. It's so good. I had such a fun time reading this. Overall, Batman 66 issue number 2 had the Penguin story and the Laurie Siren story. Both I would give the Emperor Penguin storyline a 4 out of 5, but I would give the Siren literally a 5 out of 5, bringing the overall score to a 4.5 out of 5. Definitely pick up Batman 66. It's a fun Batman book, and it's really different from all the other Batman books that are out there. And it's also unique coming from the television show over to comics. It really blends itself perfectly, and it's a must read.